twice.
Whoa. All right, let's turn that down. Turn it down, turn it down, oh, wait, I didn't go live. Okay, there we go. Now I'm live on all platforms. Yep, there we go. All right. How are you guys doing? I just realized something that's missing off of this page. So let me do that. All right, create. All right, I don't know why it won't come up. Alrighty then, that's kind of weird. Alrighty, hello everyone. Incredible greetings. Now I got to see it on my phone because I went live. The way I have to do it now is like I went live in one place, but then you also have to hit live over here for it to be live. So now I got to wait for it to pop up so that I can share it out. So let's do that. I don't have an engineer for my live, so I end up having to do all these things manually. One day, I won't have to do everything manually. And I'll have an engineer that can do all of this other stuff that's like back end stuff that needs to be done, like sharing it, while I just get to talk and wait for the audience to kind of like build up and things like that. Like, because you don't want to like talk to no one. You don't want to get into like the nitty gritty of it, which does kind of suck for those who are watching the playback of it, because you're sitting through things that's like not, and for me to go in and edit, because I stream to so many different platforms, and not like you can edit it like down in one place and not the others. So like with me doing this like on YouTube, I would either have to just go, which I probably will, because these are more so for those who catch it live. But if I wanted to keep it up, I would have to go to each individual YouTube channel, wait for it to like upload, go into it, delete the intro part of it, and then let it like re-upload itself. And then when it comes to Facebook, there's really no editing whatsoever. So it does suck a little bit for those who might catch the playback and you're not like here live. But, it is what it is, Okay. Oh, wait. Shoot, I did this wrong. So let me copy that, share now. I forgot to hit share to a group. So we want to go group, and boom, a boom, a boom, a boom, a boom. For those who let me share in their groups. All right, boom. And there we go. All right, we are all shared out. Hello, incredible greetings. I don't have any lip gloss on either, so hopefully my lips don't get too dry. But hello, how are y'all doing? A little crazy, I know. If you're watching the playback of this, I'm sorry. But let's get into it. I am Shakia, the professor of HS Inc. 365, home of 365 Creative Academy, Honestly Speaking, Soloholics Anonymous, HS Inc. Designs, HS Inc. Digital, HS Inc. Print, all the things. things. We do many things. I wear many hats over here, along with my, I guess you still say, team of people that kind of help me stay sane and do the kind of sort of helps with where I allow them to. I still struggle with delegation, which is not a good thing when you are in business, unless you like being burnt out. If you enjoy just being stressed out and burnt out, don't delegate. Don't welcome help. Don't prioritize help. Be stingy with money and don't want to pay for help. If you like stress, if you like to be stressed, don't ever delegate, in your business, because it's going to take away from the thing that you like. You like being stressed out. You like being frustrated. So why would you do things to alleviate that stress and that frustration? You're going to drive yourself crazy, because you're no longer stressed and you like being stressed, right? But I go through those moments. And obviously I'm someone that obviously must like being stressed, because I won't delegate certain tasks. Yeah, so it's okay though. But we're here to talk the real. I am someone that's been in this for a really long time, and I was thinking about some things earlier. I kept going back and forth on whether or not I would give the inspiration behind some of my talks and discussions, because it does involve other people. And then some people see that as a negative thing if you speak on a certain situation. So it's always hard to navigate, because it is still my truth. I like having people that I can we either watch the same videos and we can have a real discussion, almost like in real time. Sometimes I'm watching something with someone, and let's say if it's an hour long, it'll probably take us 2 hours to get through it, because we'll listen, we'll stop, we'll kind of have a little discussion about what's there. I'm not that person oh, let me watch it all the way to the end and then let's kind of discuss it. I can't stand that, because I be wanting to talk about it in real time based off what I read, which is one of the good things about being when I do participate in it, and I can kind of see the structure of the way the book club is. For morning meetup, we read 10 pages, and then you come on and you kind of have bars, because you're talking about what you just read versus reading the entire book, or reading a bunch of different chapters and then processing and talking about that. So there are some benefits to it, in the way that book club is kind of done. It's just some of the books just don't interest me. I'm just sorry. But I like doing it with podcasts, whether it's a business one. I'm watching, I listen to, okay, wait, I know I'm all over the place, but this is kind of weird. Is anyone else like me? I like YouTube. And I know that as a podcaster, they need more of the just audio, view, they need the I don't say views, but listen tos, or however you say it. They need the action or the traction on the audio version, because that's really how you get ranked or start seeing things like that when it comes to having a podcast. But I'm a visual person. Even if I'm just listening to it and I'm barely looking at the visuals, it's just something about those visuals being there. And every once in a while glancing over, and I can kind of see people's faces, see their body language, their facial expressions. So I do kind of like that. But sometimes I am just kind of it's just on a screen, and I can kind of see the visual out of my peripheral, but I'm not really always engaged, paying attention, because I'm normally working. But I've gotten into a few of them. One of them, what is her name? It's something Shan. She talks a lot about sex and intimacy. And I think I first came across her when Raven-Symoné and her wife was on there. And then I didn't realize it's been so long since she's had this open, but yet not open, because I don't think they really step out on each other, as far as sexual, but she's open to dating other people. It's just, but I like the content of her podcast. And then it's what's the other one that I watch? Oh Lord, and I feel so bad because I literally watch it all the time, but for some reason it is literally escaping my brain. But it's The Neighbors. Oh God, I cannot think of this. Okay, Kelly Rowland was just on there. Let me just go to it because I know it's in my like watch history. So let me see. Kelly Rowland. Okay, wait. Okay, Scott Evans, like Jesus, house guest. There, I was like, where I got neighbors from? House guest, Scott Evans. So I like watch those like all the time. And I'm always wanting to like have discussions with what people said, and then like that's just me. And then like when I'm in different environments, like I listened to Scale Her Summit, or I watched it because it was via Zoom. So I had that playing in the background yesterday and the day before, like Scale Her Summit. And there are certain things in there that like I wanted to be able to discuss, but I only had like one friend that really went to it to be able to just kind of have dialogue. It's not like talking about someone, but it's like the dialogue of like what was said, like what your takeaways from it. Like I just like dialogue. I like long form conversations, and I feel like people like to rush things now. Everyone's attention span is so short. You can't. I just want to like my platform, whether people listen or not, they can click off. I get to talk. Like I just like to get my thoughts out, and I did that today in the morning meetup. And I ended up having a question. It was like layers to it, and I wanted to kind of get into it, but there's just like this strict rule of like only one question unless David has follow up to it or whatever. But it's like there was like layers to it that I wanted to kind of sort of get into because I had some like cool ideas and stuff for him. But I'm not gonna lie, and if he ever comes up like across this, like sometimes it's kind of the face of okay, get to the point, like okay, how long we're gonna sit here and talk about this, like. And some things to me are not just a simple question because there's no context to it, and then how you respond to it might be based off of what you think I'm trying to get at in your head, and it's not that, and then we kind of like waste time. But anywho, people just to me, what was one of my thoughts today was, and I made a post about it. It's like people's attention spans are so freaking short. Like it's ridiculous. But anyhow, hopefully, I said all that to say, hopefully, your attention span is long enough to kind of get through this and me just talking about like entrepreneurship and the things that I have learned, because it's not something that you can really, put in like in 10 minutes. Just kind of learning from others' experiences and being open to listening to. I think that's what's made me great in entrepreneurship. And I've been able to do this without needing to. Sometimes I want to go back into like the hustle and bustle of like a W-2 worker, and just being in like an office building or like that environment with other people, which they'll probably get on my nerves after a while. But I want like that interaction because I feel like my entire life is interacting with people online, and I don't always have like that true adult interaction, which is why I'm always trying to do like live Zooms. And I'm like, hello, like don't talk to me through the chat, like unmute, talk to me. Because entrepreneurship and when you're working from home can seem kind of long when you don't have a staff, like just go and like just communicate with people. And I miss that about being on a job. Is just having those people, like even if it's just during breaks or maybe like while you're eating lunch or you get to kind of communicate and associate with people. I miss that sometimes. So that's why I want to. Do I need to? No, but sometimes I want to go back to, but I like being an entrepreneur. uh but the title of this was like, I don't think that I could start entrepreneurship in today's climate, in today's society, like because everything is so rushed. Getting help, guidance, assistance is so rushed. If you take your time trying to figure something out, people make you feel like, oh, you're a problem, like, oh, you're taking too long. What do they say, like slow feet don't eat, or like, it's like weird or stupid sayings like that drive me insane. Because why are we rushing into it, especially if you're saying you want to have a business, you're charging people for something, but it's like something you kind of threw together, you're not really putting any thought into it. To me, entrepreneurship is just glorified, or it's like so many people are pushing it, but not everybody can be an entrepreneur. You don't have the discipline for it. You don't have like the right mindset for it. If it's just about money for you and you don't understand like certain things, like entrepreneurship is just not going to work for you, because in your mind you have this like, oh, I get to work for myself and like money just comes, and that's not the case. And although those who are in entrepreneurship and they teach it, they know that that's not the case, but that's not the sexy thing. Like, you want people to buy your courses or get into your community and do all these things. So you want people to feel like, okay, you can make this money. You just give me 5 minutes of your time. Just give me 30 minutes. Give me 30 days. And I'm going to make it to where you're making money and you don't have to ever work for someone. And they glorify like that part of it, but there's so much to it. And everything is so cookie cutter, or not cookie cutter. Everybody wants it to be, again, not absolutes. I don't like people talk to me in absolutes. I'm not going to say everything or everyone, but I do find that the majority of people in this space, it's like they want microwave success. Like they want it to be instant. They don't want the slow cook oats or grits. They want like, they don't even want, like, at least at one point people could stomach like waiting 5 minutes for grits. Now it's like, no, just give me the instant. I want to be able to pop this in a microwave, and it needs to be done in 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Yes, there's only a 2-minute difference between the 5-minute grits, but with the 5-minute one, like I still had to get a pot, put water, like a lot of water in that, measured, I put it on the stove, I have to wait for this. But yeah, those 2 minutes is the prep time makes it longer. And it just seems like that's how entrepreneurship is. And when you're trying to figure out certain things, or you may have an idea and you're trying to maybe help someone else, if it's something that seems like it's going to take a while, it's like people check out of it. And it's just so weird to me. I was just saying the other day about reading. I don't understand. This is just me. Now, again, this might be just me. But I see a lot of people pushing like ebooks, right? Doesn't ebooks, or doesn't it require reading? But then you have so many people who will go and say, I'm not reading all that. Like, let's say someone puts like a post online or whatever, and it could have the same exact information. People don't want to read that. Oh, that's too much. That's this. I don't get it. And then it's like, you hear adults talking about, I'm not reading all that. That's too much to read. My attention span is too short or whatever. And we don't put a lot of emphasis on reading, but then you want to talk about the illiteracy rate and the fact that kids don't read. Y'all are setting the example. Y'all Negroes don't like to read. The heck? So I don't know. These are just like random thoughts that go through my head. But entrepreneurship in the creative space. I can speak on entrepreneurship in so many different genres or like just different spaces, but I always, of course, come back to crafters, and I still struggle with it. And I know that I have to use the word crafters, because even though I don't consider myself to be a crafter, in order to get the attention of those who need the information that I have to say the word crafters. So no, like for anyone that's here, and you've known me for a long time, you've watched my content, and you know the disdain I have about calling what we do crafting, know that when you hear me say it, it is to get the attention of the people who still consider themselves crafters, because they have not come across me. So I am not going back. I am not telling you to call yourself a crafter, but know that I'm using those buzzwords, those trigger words, to attract the people who consider themselves crafters, okay? But this is the world that I love. Like, I have a lot of knowledge about a lot of things, but this is the world that I love, and I keep coming back to it. I'm probably insane for coming back to it and trying to probably help folks who don't want it, because I may not look like or talk about money or show all of these things that you guys think that makes someone an authority in that space because they have a certain look or they're bragging about a certain thing. But know that I have real information, real knowledge. I can't apply everything because I'm only one person. Some of these things don't apply to me. Like I'm not at day one. I'm not at week one like some people, but I've been there and I can give guidance and things of that nature. So we're going to talk about starting a business in this day and age, like this climate as a creative. Okay? Is that okay? Is that cool with y'all? All right, let me see. We go over here. Hello. You guys don't hear me? Wait a minute. Someone says they don't hear me. Can you guys hear me? Don't please tell me I just said all that and y'all can't hear me. Oh God. Oh no. Wait. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Okay, you guys can't hear me. Okay. Woo. Wait a minute. I thought this was me. I was thinking I'm so slow. Yeah, it's not. Like, I hear you on Facebook. Okay, you guys can hear me. All right, cool. Then she just has to figure it out for her side. Okay. Oh, Jesus. All right. So, what was I saying? So here's my thing. I'm gonna give kind of like my background a little bit, which I know like this would probably be boring to some people. Just listen. I'm not saying that you have to watch me, whatever. If you're at work, just put the earbuds in, just listen, come back to it. I suck at time stamping, so I won't be able to help you there. I'll be honest, for me, time stamping seems like a lot of extra work to send, love offerings and things like, so it's like almost doing this for free. And I don't want to go above and beyond for the free stuff. Like the information itself to me is the value. I don't really like, I was looking at my thumbnails and it catches me looking so crazy every single time. And I really, really should put some effort at one point I tried to, but it's like I just want to just go live, like all that extra stuff. Like, am I being paid for this content? No, I get paid when you join my classes. So I put effort into that, but I don't really put a lot of effort into like the free stuff. But know that it's still valuable, even if you go and the thumbnail of me is like this, because that's how it catches me. Know that it's still valuable information, inside of the video. But now I forgot what I was saying. Oh, okay. So in today's society, like I find that, as I talked about yesterday, there's so many layers to this. There's so many groups now. To me, groups are a hindrance because there's so much noise from people who don't know what they're talking about. It's like there's so many groups and people feel like they can just get these answers. It's people who haven't spent time in it. They just barely learned it last week, and everyone is an expert. Then it's like you get the backlash because when you talk about the fact that everybody thinks they're an expert, then it's like people want to look at you like, okay, well, how are you different? Because I've actually spent the time in this thing. Like, I might know a thing or two about printers. Like when you have questions and people throw like weird statements out there. I just saw someone say, don't do sublimation because it's limiting. No, sublimation does what sublimation is supposed to do. It's not limiting. If you are someone and you want to be able to put designs on other shirts, it doesn't mean that sublimation isn't the way to go. But for your colored shirts or for your cotton shirts, you need a different method. It's not a one size fits all. Okay, let me break it down to y'all. for shirts. I teach, I have a whole training on this. I think we teach 12 different ways that you can decorate or like make some type of shirt, whether it is custom or if you're doing something that is like, for a brand, if you're doing something that is like you're making work shirts or like, shirt like branded shirts, like for someone's job, like whatever it is, like whether it's a one-off or if it's something that's going to be made over and over and over and over and over again, like there's 12 different ways that you can make shirts. Some are for longevity, some are not. Some are great to build out prototypes. Like you might need to have this printer and have this process there. It's not that you will make money from this, but before you go into full on production, let me at least see what it looks like. Let me be able to print this out in a way where I can at least maybe do a photo shoot before I go and like, if I'm waiting on all the other stuff. Like, but every method has a purpose. And there's 12 different ways to make a shirt. They all provide different conveniences. They all have different pros and cons. But it doesn't mean that it's limiting. And so when I see people say that, I'm just like, shut up. I want to scream so bad. You don't know what you're talking about. It's like, just because it doesn't work for you doesn't mean that it's limiting, because there's things that DTF can't do. Like when it comes to like regular DTF, it's like apparel or fabrics. Yes, some people have pressed it to like boxes, but if you wanted to put it on something else, a tumbler, a mug, a keychain, like it's not ideal for it. And then here's going to be somebody that's going to say, but there's UV DTF. Boo Boo Kitty, that's not the same. That's not the thing that drives me nuts about the craft industry. When someone says one thing and then you go and that's not the same thing. So don't tell me, okay, no, yeah, you can do DTF on a mug. It's called UV DTF. That ain't the same DTF. Do you not understand that? But sublimation, like the amount of things that you can literally print onto your sublimation paper with your sublimation ink and then press. You can't do that with a lot of the other methods. So it's like, stop treating it like I find a good amount of people, they want this one thing that's supposed to like take care of everything in their business. They want to do all these different things, but they like in their mind, they want one design program that's going to fulfill all of their needs. They want one printer that's going to fulfill all their needs, one cutter that's going to fulfill all of their needs. That's not how this works. Like if I had to get information about starting a craft business, that's so hard to say it like that. To start a craft business in this climate, I would probably, I guess I'm saying I would lose my mind because of the knowledge that I have, but I'll be honest, I don't see how y'all do it. I don't see how y'all do it because there's so many, everybody and their mama, like Jamal Bryant said on Social Proof Podcast that pastors was the only profession where you don't have to be like, I think he said like certified or it was something, but I'm like, when he said it, I was like, so that is so not true, because there's people out here now, everybody and their mama want to be a coach, everybody and their mama want to be an instructor, a mentor, a this or that. Everybody wants to have a group of like, like when it comes to communities, it starts off with the Facebook group. Alex Hormozy has made it to where anybody in their mama, they got a good $10 a month that they can spare. They can have a community that says, hey, I'm an authority. You have so many coaches and mentors and influencers that says, get yourself a community. This shows that you are an authority in that space. You a lie. That's a bold-faced lie, because it's a whole bunch of people that have communities that don't know diddly squat. And because it's so easy, there's no verification that you are able to speak on these things and you are allowed to just have a platform. Anybody and their mama can have a podcast. Anybody and their mama can get on social media and just spew. And if you happen to get a bunch of likes from a set of people or a bunch of views, people start to think, oh, they must be, no, they're talking about so many people watched it, so many people, and it's bull crap. Do you know that there's a lot of people who know that rage baiting, clickbaiting, like angering, they know that that will get a reaction. And on these social media platforms, the platforms don't value authentic and real information. Oh, it likes drama. It likes things that's going to trigger a reaction. So there are people who will make statements like, Brandy can't sing. Because, and I say that because, baby, I feed their algorithm, okay? Because, baby, you can't talk about Brandy with me, okay? Not the vocal Bible, not the vocal Bible. Like, come on, like, I know you're not. And when they say that, yes, I am enraged because who you talking about, player? Brandy can't who? She can't do what? Don't play with me. And I mean, these fingers get to going. And I'm adding to their views, their engagement. That's going to help their performance. They going to get their little 50 cents off of me because, baby, I might give you about 3, 4, 5 comments talking about Brandy because I'm going to have to respond to somebody else and say some foolishness. But that person, this person probably loves Brandy. And this is why it's called a faceless page, a faceless channel, a faceless platform. We don't know who the real person is because they never show their face. They're going to create a logo, they're going to create a name, and they're going to hide behind this, and they are going to post some foolishness because guess what? They're going to get the engagement, and they probably made that post bumping full moon. They made that post bumping full moon. But the way social media is set up, anything that's going to get a reaction. I just came across a lady on Instagram. Grandma love, granny love. Like, and I literally just realized, baby, that's a whole character. This lady, the actual person is very young, but I first came across her content as Granny Love. And she's like, I'm looking for a nice little tenderoni. Love her content. And it wasn't until somebody said, I keep forgetting that this is a character. I had to now go in the deep dive. This lady is young. Wait a minute now. I felt like I had been catfishing, but it was like she knows what will get people's attention. There is this presence of this older woman because, baby, the makeup be makeuping, okay? Like, I'm not sure if it's a filter, what it is. I know now, and whatever wig she got, baby, that's a good wig. Okay, that is a good all white silver like wig. I'm like, I can't stand these grays. I want to be 45 with a full head of gray hair because this mixture is not doing it for me, and dye doesn't work. I actually tried to dye this, and it, again, my family thought I was playing when I say dye laughs at my hair, and now the coloration on it is horrible. I hate it. I'm ready to shave all my hair off, whatever. But I'm like, I just want to go. And whatever wig she got, lady, I need you to do an affiliate link. Like, let me know. I will be 45 with a full, just gray wig, not salt and pepper. I want to be silver. Just, it's amazing. I'm going through her content, and this is a young, like, girl. But knowing that and just seeing this older lady online that says she wants her a nice tenderoni and get in her inbox, it is going crazy. Anyone who has an idea, who has something, like, they can create content that is going to get attention. You don't, and then when it comes to like all the business stuff, you don't have to be certified in it. You just had to have gotten enough attention. So me starting out, like, it's so much misinformation, and it's so hard to figure out what is the wrong information. I don't know how y'all are starting businesses in this climate. Like, I really, really don't. Like, I don't get how y'all are successful. Are y'all successful? Because I'll be honest, it's some folk who, they big time. What a proof. Now for me, you know, I keep saying I'm going to clip it up and kind of like post all of like the testimonials and things like that. And when people come to me, like I keep it for myself. So maybe that's the case for them as well. That, you know, people are they have success stories. They're just not like promoting them, you know, like that or whatever. But I'm just like, how do we know that it's working? Now I'll say for me, because I speak to people all the time, I foolishly make myself available to kind of like talk to people for free more often than I should. I know what's working, what's not working, and that, you know, they're still struggling. I'm in the groups, you know, and you hear and you see people, oh, they're struggling with this and you know, they're still stressing about their pricing and things like that. Oh, am I not pricing enough? Am I pricing too high? Am I pricing too low? And this and that. Like, what about this machine? And they still haven't figured it out. And when someone goes and says they're doing, you want to talk down. There's no way. You're only saying that because you haven't experienced it yet. So I know that people are struggling, but it's also because you're getting so much misinformation and so many things that are created. And I get we're supposed to advance. We're supposed to have we have access to technology, and everything shouldn't be the same exact way as it was before. I was thinking about that last night. Opened up a can of evaporated milk for my macaroni and cheese last night, and I'm just like, man, the look of this can opener, like, who came up with this? Because I mean, I'm just going back to when I was a kid and the way a can opener looked then, and damn near cutting yourself. Like, back in the day when it came for like milk, we used to have the one with the little pointed thing on it. You're going to go put it on the edge. You're going to go like this, and it's going to poke a hole in it. Then you have to poke a hole on the other side to release the air. And then you're going to go ahead and pour it out like this. I cannot tell you the last time I've seen, because to me, that was the easier way to pour out milk. If I needed to open up a can of evaporated milk or some, I just go and click, and I can pour it out and it's done. Now I am forced to use this stupid can opener where I got to go around damn near the whole thing to be able, because it's not even like it was before where you can at least do a little bit and bend it back. You can't even do that because someone said, oh, well, people were cutting themselves, so we're going to make this can opener that's going to make it where you don't have an edge that you can cut yourself. But you can't really go around it like a little bit and pull it back because it's, I don't know. I know it's like off, but it's just like, it's supposed to so-called make it easier. But I just give me a can opener with the little triangle piece and the little hook, so I can just go pop, pop, and I can be done with it. Like, and I feel like that's how it is within this creative space, or, you know, the things that we built businesses on. Now people are saying that they're limited. Oh, don't do that. Just because y'all got a little taste of DTF, UV DTF, and y'all in these dang on 3D printers. I'm like, I asked someone, how long did it take to do this? And they were like 20 hours. I'm sorry, excuse me. So that means in order for you to actually have a valuable business with this, you need a whole bunch of these. Where you storing these at? Because for that one thing to take 20 hours, Harpo, I know you effing lying. But these are the things that you see, and people start to feel like they're missing out because a couple people got this new shiny object, and you see the end result. But what they don't put on half of these posts in these groups when it comes to these 3D printers, oh, it's going to take you 20 hours for this to print out. It's going to take you 24 hours. It's going to take you however many. So it took me 20 hours to make something that the average person is only going to put a $10 value on. So $10, not including the equipment, like the supplies, divided by 20 hours, or even if it was $50 divided by, you made how much on this for this machine to be running using electricity for 20 hours? When did you sleep? I'm sorry. Can't nothing run in my house and I can't monitor it. Because if you go haywire, something happened and something fall, I'm sorry. I'm not leaving anything running that damn long. I'm not, because I'm not staying up to watch it and babysit it. So to me, 3D printing is it. If it worked for you, it worked for you. But I don't get it. I don't see the purpose. Let's see. Let me go over here and see some of these comments before I keep going. You're still the best. Oh, thank you. People don't want to spend the time to learn. Most people don't know the nuances of each form of crafting. You're simply the best. Better than all the rest. Okay, you're so correct. I've been in some of those communities and they don't know what they're talking about, but the people listen. The people listening know even less because they won't take the time to study and actually learn. But if you don't know the basics, it's hard to build on the other. But yeah, and that's the thing. They don't want to learn the basics. And then when I try to teach the basics, like I've literally had people on my platform and say, I'm trying to force people to think like I do, and I want them to learn the foundation, and people don't care about that. They just want the part that they know. Well, go then. Why you keep coming to me? Stay off my. I'm gonna always ask you foundational questions. So if you don't want that, don't come on my platform. Unfollow. Or if you want to follow, don't say anything. Like, don't ask me any questions because I have to know what you know and what you don't know. Like, you're not going to get to this because you don't know this. I just saw someone, they posted in like all these groups, like they posted in one group and I answered over there. Then I saw it again. I'm like, okay, wait, is this the same one? Because I went to go look to see if I commented on it. I'm like, no, this says 2 hours ago. This is a brand new post. They were asking about a hex code for metallic for metallic gold. And I'm like, there's no such thing. Metallic and that look, it's either going to be like light causing that, or like when you're looking at something physical, it's different colors in it and it's the light and like gold, like it's just different. But when you're doing it in print, you have to have a mixture of these colors and almost like a gradient to be able to create the light that if it was actually a piece of gold, like you have to create that through the coloring of it. There's no one hex code that's like a straight up like gold. Unless you're looking for you want a certain color, right? So like you have like, and then there's like Vegas gold, there's old gold, there's all these different variations, and they have more yellow. Some look more green, some look brown. And I'm like, it's going to be hard for you to find, like, you're not ever going to have a metallic. You can get a color that's like representation of a gold, but you have to like just pick out which color is appealing to you. And then when it comes to picking that color, what are you printing out on? Because I can take something and print it out on my Canon dye-based printer and print out a color. If I go and print it out on my Canon pigment ink printer, it's going to look differently. If I go and print it out on my Epson pigment ink printer, it's going to look a certain way. And also the material that I'm putting it on. If I go and I put it on my Roland BN20, and that is on vinyl that has shine to it and sheen to it, and that is oil-based ink, when I go to print it on there, it's going to look different. If I sublimate it, it's going to look different. If I do DTF, it's going to be different. So then when you give the advice that what you will need to do is sample a bunch of different golds, and whatever media you're planning to print that out on, you need to have that printed out so that you can physically see it and say, okay, I'm not going to get what I want, like what I'm visioning, but this is close enough. But you have to print that out in order to be able to see that. But then as a crafter, it's, oh, well, I don't want to have to spend money on a DTF print, or, especially with something like they can't do in-house. If they have to send off, like they need to send to their DTF printer, hey, I need this printed so that I can see the color. Mix it in with something else. Maybe every time you run a DTF print in that little open space, maybe you need to put a color chart there. Maybe you need to test out some colors and put the hex code there so that you can see how that particular vendor's printer prints out, because you're going to be disappointed. You're going to pick this hex code. You're asking people in a group who don't know. And then I hate when people answer. You ain't bothered to ask no clarifying questions. Oh, you just gonna offer up a hex code. And then they're silly butt because, oh yeah, they got no, they're talking about, they gave me the answer, they gave me a direct answer. You're gonna go use the hex code, and then when it gets printed out and it ain't what you want, who you gonna be mad at? But the person that told you what you need to do is sample a bunch of different colors and have that printed out from whatever printer you're gonna have it printed from, on whatever media you're going to have it printed on, and then you can decide which one works for your needs. Because she was like, oh, they all keep coming out too yellow, too green, or too brown. Baby, those are the colors that make up gold. So you got to find a middle ground. Something, it might look a little brown mixed in with a little gold, but you're not going to know that until you test them out. You can ask people all the questions, but what if it's that person who wanted a yellow gold? Like, they're okay with the yellow tone. They gave you the hex code that they use. It's not what you wanted. Y'all got to learn to communicate better with what it is that you're looking for. You post these open-ended questions, which is why I don't think I could survive in this climate. Y'all don't like to ask questions. Y'all don't have inquiry. Like, y'all don't question folk. Y'all don't question information. I am so grateful to have been privileged enough to learn a lot of these things when money wasn't on the line. And I think that's the thing too. Like, I get it. Cost of living is super, super high in a lot of the areas, and it's just high in other areas. I think cost of living is just out of control because we're not making as much money, but things keep going up. And even with all of this technology and things of that nature, companies still charge more. It's like they're charging you more because they want to be the first one to get the new technology and like release it. So it's like they're investing so much money into it. So how are they going to get that money? No, they're never going to use their money. Oh, I'm still a billionaire. I got all this money. You think I'm going to invest my own personal money? No, this is what I have a business for. This is what I have customers for. I'm going to raise my prices. Y'all are going to fund my research project. I'm not going to use my own personal funds. No, I'm a billionaire now. I'm a millionaire now. It has to come from the business money. I'm never going to touch. Once it hits my personal account, oh, I will never, ever, ever go and be an investor into my own business. Absolutely not. I'm going to just charge y'all more so that I can try out these new things. So we're now funding that, but they also don't want to pay more. Because why you need that much money sitting in your bank account? You have staff, you have people that are losing their homes, yet you're sitting on billions. There's no way for you to spend. It's like, oh, it's for the next generation. What they gonna do with all the billions? Are you not teaching them to make more money and make that flip to where you just have to have this money? It's just a status thing for people, like to be this billionaire, to be this millionaire. It just becomes status because you can't take that money to the grave with you. And I don't care how much money you have. You might have somebody to where you like, oh, I'm going to keep for generations, but it's going to be that person, generation 1, 2, 3, who probably think like me. And it's like, okay, what we need all this for? And they probably going to give all your billions away anyway. You dead and gone. Who cares? But people are out here suffering. So because people are trying to get ahead of it, they feel like, okay, well, I need to try and latch on to whatever someone says is the next best way to like make money. This whole digital thing. That's the other thing. I'm like, I'm being told that I'm not progressive in business. I need to pivot and I need to do more digital products. I need to sell more of my intellectual property and the things that I came up with. They're great business owners and they're not selling people their intellectual property. Like they're going to get some money they're going to license it out for some real coins. But I'm giving away my intellectual property for $5. I ain't no $5 hoe. Like I cannot, like, I'm so grateful that I learned business techniques and business like strategies when I did, because the things that you guys are willing to learn, because you don't really want to know the full scope of it, it's going to be so hard. It's so yeah, you're going to get quick money, but it's not going to be sustainable money. People want to switch up and pivot 3 months in, 90 days. Like 90 days. So it's like 3 months. Like one quarter is all you get. And it's like, okay, this isn't working. Like there's no real testing out. Y'all are afraid to test out. I don't think I could survive in this climate because y'all don't want to test things out. Y'all feel like everything that you put your hands to, it has to make money the next day. My son wanted to give up. He tried his hands at making his own tenders, right? They didn't come out too great. None of that flour stuck to it. He was trying to double batter it. Maybe that stuff. He was just so frustrated. And it's like, son, calm down. This is literally your first time making this. What made you think it was going to be perfect the very first time that you made it? I don't mind. Eb, I got to go buy you some more tenderloins for you to go and practice again, practice different techniques. Maybe next time, because if this is something that you want to be able to make, try different methods. You're going to get a whole pack of tenderloins and they all going to be made different. You might go and put this set inside the buttermilk, whatever. You're going to double bread this one. Well, okay, these 3 tenders, you're going to go and you're going to do it one time. This one over here, you're going to put the flour. You might do it in reverse until you figure out the right technique. As long as I'm willing to keep on using tenderloins, son, keep on trying, keep on figuring out, perfecting what it is that you do. It's not going to happen the first time around. There are some people that may have beginner's luck and it's like, oh, this came out perfect. But then the next time they do it, reality is going to set. Literally just had this lesson with my son over some chicken tenders and then realized that he forgot to take out the dang on tender. So he was wondering, like, when it didn't like just kind of come apart or whatever. But it's like he watched some video and I went back and I'm like, okay, there's a lot of information missing in this, but okay, I let him have it. And I'm like, people do that with business as well. You don't want to try out anything. Everybody wants to figure out how to get a printer. And I remember T made a post and she was like, you are struggling selling a $20 shirt. What make you think you can afford a $20,000 printer? How you finna make your money back from it, Sway? How? I don't think I could survive in this economy or this climate of entrepreneurship for crafters. Because all the information is fragmented. I'm glad I learned these things when it wasn't the pressure of making money, that everything that you did, you have to figure out how to make money from it. And if you're not making money, you're frustrated with it. How y'all do it? Like, talk to me. How are y'all surviving trying to start a business, being introduced to the idea and the thought of business in 2026? I'm gonna say 2025, 2024 for some of y'all. When y'all started this, how are y'all surviving? Like, how is it going for y'all? Are y'all frustrated? Are you thriving? Like, let me know, because I don't get it. Without the foundation, the house crumbles. The color chart, I learned that from you. Simply greed. You can only use one toilet at a time, use one shower at a time, sleep in one bed at a time. How much money does any person really need? Exactly. I agree with what you're saying. I believe that's why so many people are crashing out. Yeah, my crash out is rather I crash out a lot, but I think mine is for different reasons. Like, I'm always trying to talk to different people about like where I'm at now. Like I'm grateful that I'm able to make money. Like, because I have so many skills that people told me like I had to pick one. Like, I'm able to rely on different skills and different things to be able to make money in this kind of like figuring it out stage. Because I'm open about that, and this is something that you should know. Like, you're going to go through periods in your business where there's going to be some uncertainty. It's not going to make sense. And this is big businesses. This happens with them as well. They just don't talk about it unless like they happen to go on someone's podcast. Mark Cuban's interview on Emma Greed's Aspire podcast was one of those great ones. People kept asking for Issa Rae. She was on there, and when she's talking about stuff, that's another great interview where you're really hearing about like the not so great moments. Kev on Stage, he has a podcast that talks about those things. Like, we're always hearing about someone's accolades and things of that nature. And I love the fact that in conjunction with his book, Successful Failure, he has a podcast where he has people coming on. Now, some of them, I don't think they realize what the podcast is really about, because it's like, hey, we're talking about the things, the mistakes, the things that's like, dang it, this was an F up. Like, this one almost set me back. This could have taken me out of the game. Like, I loved Tabitha Brown's, and like when she kind of gave the background of like what happened with Target, what happened with Kill My Name, and people just thought that, oh, just because it's Tabitha Brown, things should be successful. And she had like a slumlord, like the person, like there was things all messed up and all these things happened. So they invested all this time, this energy, this money into opening up this location and had to pretty much close it almost immediately because there were so many things that were going on. So podcasts like that, I love those because to me, they really give you insight into what it is to be an entrepreneur. Like, every day ain't going to be sunshines and rainbows. You're going to lose money. And then people will be like, oh, but they're rich. They can afford to lose the money. They don't want to lose the money no more than you do. But there's risk in it. You can't wait until you are on top and then be okay with like the risk and like losing money. That's going to happen at every single level. But entrepreneurs in this climate, like coming into it, anybody that talks about that, like they want to block them out. They don't want to hear that. They just want to hear, I'm going to be up. Like, I ain't got to work for somebody, but you got to have certain discipline. It's so many people that's I was saying, people tell me about digital products. I don't have that. And I'm just like, I don't know about y'all, but I know tax code. And it's only so many deductions that you have. And to get money that easily, and you don't have something else that's going to maybe balance that out, even if what you're doing is technically kind of sort of, not say low ticket, but you're not profiting as much on that, but you have higher profits over here, it can balance it out on your P&L. Because Uncle Sam is going to be like, oh, you made all this money and you ain't got not a nary deduction. People get mad that rich folk and like the very, very wealthy, when they're like, oh, they're not paying any taxes. Like, there's so many ways to buck Uncle Sam legally. And they're going to leave the folk that don't know, the people that are scared to do certain things. Like, they're going to leave us footing the bill. The lower class and the middle class are footing this bill, more so the middle class. Those who are up there, they are barely contributing to taxes because they're going to do certain things. Like, and the crazy thing is, they're the ones writing the tax code. When you get somebody like the person that's in office right now and their big, beautiful bill, and it's meant to, now there is some trickle down to us, and now what's ordinary and necessary, the scope of that has changed. There are some things where the IRS probably wouldn't ding you about, where years ago they would, but it wasn't necessarily to really help us. It's to help those up there be able to deduct things and write things off so they don't have to pay that money, but it does kind of trickle down when you know about it. But you got to be willing to sit through some boring information to understand all of these tax codes and what's ordinary and necessary for your business and what you can write off. What happened? But it's like, when you're doing all of these digital things, you're not buying anything. You're not like, what you gonna buy a new computer every year? Then y'all want it to be digital. So you can't even say that you need a printer. You can't justify a printer and buying a bunch of paper or buying spirals or this. You can't justify any of these things because you went digital. And then y'all don't even want to have the deduction of a website because y'all are looking for, well, what's the free website? How can I do this for free? How can I buck transaction fees? I don't want to have to pay the PayPal fees. I don't want to have to pay the credit card or the merchant fees. Y'all just want the money to come in and y'all want folks to leave y'all alone. Baby, that's not how it works legally. So when y'all get that little tax bill, or you got the people that's like going and it's like, oh, I owe Uncle Sam $1 million. I owe Uncle Sam $600,000. I owe Uncle Sam $800,000. I owe Uncle Sam $100,000 because I did not know. All I know was the phrase. I didn't know about none of this. I didn't take the time to really learn business. So many people don't want to learn business. If you are on a 9-to-5 now and you are considering entrepreneurship, take this time to learn business. Find out about tax codes, insurance. I was actually just watching a video. They had their business insurance and they lost a lot of stuff. And it's like they thought, this insurance covers liability. When you get business insurance, it ain't property insurance, and it don't even cover you as the CEO, as the owner. You got liability insurance. You got workers' comp. You have to have that in case something happens. Somebody wants to sue you. You have that protection, and that only goes but so far. You got to read the fine print. You got to be willing to pay out this money. So many people are operating these businesses selling food. Oh, it's my hustle. It's this. You can hustle. You go ahead, sell it out the trunk of your car. But please do me a favor and get some liability insurance, because the moment somebody goes and they get sick and they want to sue you, that whole operation gonna get shut down. Because you didn't even know about liability. You have a business that has high liability, but you have no liability insurance. Where all the stuff you had, this flood and all this, now all your equipment gone. You can't replace none of it. So now you can't even make any money because you didn't understand there's a difference between liability business insurance and property coverage. And then when you have someone that's like, I want to expose you to these things, I'm not paying for that. She talked too long. No, I care about that. How I press this shirt? How am I supposed to price this? Baby, I don't even know where you live at. Who you talking to when it comes to who you're selling to, right? Y'all are selling to folk who are broke. And you're wondering, like, they don't value. Hell, they trying to figure out, how can I steal some shit and not go to jail? If they could, they would be out there stealing stuff out the stove. They gonna pocket a little something. They want DIY prices. Like, I want you to do it for me and I don't have to pay for it. Like, you can't just you're talking to people like that. You're talking to people who value name brand. Them saying that they have on your shirt does nothing for their status. But if they got on a Jordan shirt, they got on a Gucci shirt, people think that they have money because people know that name. And because they put so much value onto name brand, your little shirt that you put all this blood, sweat, and tears in, they're never going to value that at $30 a pop, $40 a pop, $50 a pop. But they'll go pay the name brand because of the status. I also can't stand, like, what I cannot deal with in this climate is every single business person tells you that a business is made to solve a problem. Who lied to y'all and told y'all that? The bigger the problem, the better the business, or whatever. The more, who told y'all that? Meg Thee Stallion just got a Bentley. What problem does that solve other than status? The fact that they can say, oh, her man went and brought her this vehicle that caused her. Where's the problem in that? It's a status symbol. I got me a light blue Bentley. There's no problem in that. It's gonna get you from point. I was like, damn, she got a driver. Certain celebrities, like, I don't even imagine them like just driving down the street like in a regular car. Like, it's always like, send me a car service. Like, do they really be driving these cars they have? And there's some people that say, I got all these cars and I'll never drive them. They're there for status. What problem did that solve? The problem of I need to have the appearance of that I make money. That's your problem? where you got to have all this stuff. What problem does Disneyland solve? It's an experience. It's entertainment. It gives you some, but that's not a problem. Businesses manufacture a problem to make it seem like this is what you needed, but you don't need to go to Disney World. If I wanted entertainment, you know how many places I can go at for entertainment? Half of them rides suck anyway. Like, who thought of this ride? What? It's not solving a problem. But in this climate, everything is, oh, your business has to solve a problem. No, there are certain businesses and certain products, like they're meant to solve a problem. But there are things that's just a business. Like, it's something that's required. As a construction company, you don't solve, something has to be built. It's not like it's like this major, like there's 1,000,001 construction companies. It's not like your company is so special. It's like, well, what makes yours differently? It's not that it's different. I'm not going to go, I'm supposed to do like go in and compete and give you something special, like compared to the other construction company. You can have somebody, y'all graduated from the same school. Y'all have the exact same skills. Y'all have the exact same tools. What makes me different? The date that you want it, that company is booked. Do you want to wait for them to not be booked and for you to wait for your timeline? You need me now. I'm available now. I'm skilled. What you want to do? In this climate, starting a business, it's like you have to teach and train yourself to pander and to cater to people and convince people you want it or no. Like, I like old school when it probably was like better when there wasn't so many options, because now with so many options, people make you believe like you got to go and you have to be able to stand out and be different. No, we are the same. I just happen to be available. What makes me different? I'm available. If they were available, then you would be over there. Why are you checking out different people? You know, here's my website, here's this, you know what I do, here's the price. So what's the problem in this? Why haven't you? So now you have a problem. And the problem that you have, you may not like my price. Baby, I'm not changing the price. So what you gonna do? Okay, so that's a you problem. You're gonna go and try and see if you can figure out what else they're going to do. Like, if they're gonna lower the price. We got the same staff. I'm not doing it by myself. Now you have some people where it's like, okay, if you were asking the right question, do you have a staff of people that's gonna, allow this project to be done faster? Or is it just you? So now it's gonna take you, 6 months to do it, where if you add other people, it might take you less time to go and build this out. When it comes to y'all in these shirts, y'all got one printer, y'all got one heat press, it's just you got your kids sporting events, so you can only do so much. So why is it that I'm going to somebody else? Because they got a team of people, they can get it done. It's so many folk where, not because it's an inconvenience, like y'all want to charge crazy so-called same day, but there are some businesses where that's our model. Hey, we have the printers. You need something this same day, we may have a printer that's reserved for same day production. So hey, we're gonna be able to go and run that. It's not that it's you may have an issue with time. So like now, if that's a problem, but like that's not a thing that maybe you build your entire business on, because that won't be the situation for every last one of your clients. Because then if you start to go and say, you make that your business model, right? We can give you same day turnaround. And so that's what you're advertising. Oh, we're better than the next person because we can do same day turnaround. You can do same day turnaround right now because you ain't got no business. You ain't got no motion. So you want people to come in. Oh yeah, I can do that. I can get that done today because your printer wasn't turned on anyway. It wasn't working. It wasn't printing out nothing anyway. But if you make that a part of your business and you still operate with that one printer, now you're not setting up to where you have multiple printers and you have set it up where you have multiple workers that can work these multiple printers. You also have people that's in the office that can go and set the job up to where the people who are operating the printer, they can just go load the material, print, go, whatever. You don't have that. So when you went and you said, oh, the problem I solve is I'm able to provide print same day. And you said this when you ain't have no actual orders, but now that you have orders, hey, what happened the same day? Oh no, we just got bombarded with da. Well, you should have been prepared to go buy another printer. Hey, once you got to your quota, do you even know how long it takes to print stuff? Did you account for a mistake? Did you account for, I just had a print. The power flashed. That rolling cut off. You know what I had to do? Had to start putting it back over. It don't pick back up where it left off. I can't control the fact that FP&L was out here effing around with some dang on poles. They around here touched something, the power went doo literally for 2 seconds. I had to read that print was damn near done. Do you account for that? Are you paying attention to these patterns in your business? No, I could not survive in this climate. Y'all don't consider worst case scenario. Y'all want a price for just what the product is and not like how y'all surviving? How are y'all surviving in this climate? Oh, I'm not in rare form today. This is me all the time. That's the problem. Like people think I'm in rare form. This is not. I literally give this to y'all all, but people don't want to listen. I don't get the bunch of views like everybody else. The algorithm doesn't push out my content like that for y'all to hear. I talk like this all the time. I've been talking this way for the 10 years, almost 11 years that I have been on these platforms. It used to hit well back in the day when there weren't that many people talking like this. Oh, I had all the, but now it's so many people that's drawing people's attention that it's harder to. You want to listen to someone that you feel like, oh, okay, no, they hear me, they understand. I understand you, but I'm also going to give it to you real. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm not going to stroke your ego. You got some people that they want to talk to me nice. Me being honest with you is talking to you nice. But people don't want to hear that. They want you to coddle them. I'm not here to coddle anybody. As my grandmother, and I made them a post, my grandmother said, I got my education to get yours. I never really appreciated what she said until I had my own kids, or so I started teaching people. And it's like, I know how to do this. I know how printers work. I can break down every single printer, explain the pros, the cons, the this, the that, whatever about most of these printers. I got my craft education knowledge. You're the one needed. Yes, I was explaining this to my grandchildren. They don't want to put in the work. Let's see. I've also been embroidering since 2011 on a single needle. There are so many people trying to convince crafters to buy 15,000 and above multi-needle print. Wait, multi-needle machines when they don't even know how to embroider. There's a machine for less than 5,000. That's what they should start out on to determine if embroidery is for you. In addition, so many people don't understand. You need to understand the software. The embroidery part isn't hard. It's what comes before the stitch out. Exactly. You are that too, much like right, coach. You don't want to hear that. You would rather the something else. The fact that you speak truth bothers folks. Is crazy out here. I can vouch for that. She is how she is. They don't want they want to cater to their flesh instead of telling them the truth. Yep. They want the ones cursing at them and think it's cute. That's very much so true. I ain't gonna lie, I thought about it because I was like, it seems like the one that's out here talking crazy, or like, okay, if it's your personality, it is who you is. There's like, that's the thing you have to realize. There's an audience for everyone. There's some people, they connect and they resonate with someone that's like them, like, oh, they are weed head, like they're literally teaching and they're on live, like, and they smoking, or they're talking about like rolling the blunt, they talking crazy and this, that, and the third, and it's like, oh, I want to learn from this person because you feel like, oh, that mimics my lifestyle. If they can do this, then I can as well. But it's not that it's sustainable. Like, it's not like they are successful because you, in your limited mindset, you're giving them the views, you're giving them this platform, but they don't, that's not professional to be smoking and talking about you in your class and you talking about like getting hot. Like it's like, this what we doing? I'm not saying you got the code switch, but professionalism is professionalism, and there's a way to do it. And I'm not saying that it has to be sweet and calm, because I'm definitely not the sweet and calm. Like, I can get in your face, and I know that for some, they'll be like, well, my personality, if someone's yelling at me and things of that nature, I can't receive it. Like, I deal with that in my own home. Like, we all deal with that, probably. Well, most people probably deal with their own home. You're trying to talk to someone and they'll say, oh, you're yelling at me, I can't even hear what you're saying, I can't process it because you're yelling at me. Happened with me yesterday. Zani Mani, he's asking me about some dang on pasta. I'm in here already cooking and this, that, and the third or whatever. And he keeps coming in. Like, you have to wait. So then I go and he's come back into the kitchen. I went to the door and what you want? What are you coming here for? I just want to see something. You don't want to see nothing in my kitchen. Goodbye. Go to your room. And that's all I said was, go to your room. Even gonna come to something. Our son doesn't like to be yelled at. And I don't like to be bossed around by a 7-year-old. Your point? He may not like it, but it wasn't like I was wrong. All I really said in a higher tone, don't play with me, go to your room. He just doesn't like to be told no. He wanted to come in there. He wanted to demand that I make his dang on bow tie pasta right then and there, and didn't care about what I was doing. So if you don't care about what I'm doing in this kitchen and the other stuff, your food is going to get done. Am I supposed to care about your little feelings? Get your behind to your room and get out my face. Now, I don't typically like just spew off like curse words, like, because I cringe at anything where there's like a bunch of like, they're just dropped like every 2 seconds. I don't really, I'm like, can we communicate as much as it's certain people where I was shocked when I was watching the Issa Rae one. And she's like, just kind of like, oh, I don't give a F. And I was just like, that just seemed, it was hard for me I had to really hold on to listen through her talking through this, like cursing. And it's like, I get that might be like, just you being yourself, but I'm like, we can't figure out a different way of saying it. Like, there's times where I might kind of go and, it'll slip out. Like, it's like every 1,000 words. And if I'm talking like, it might come out, but like to listen to something where it's like constantly cursing and it's like, okay, I'm about to curse now, just so y'all have fair warning, just to kind of give an example. Okay, this is for educational purposes only. But if someone goes and they're trying to talk to you about like, okay, well, what the fuck wrong with y'all? That shit don't make no sense. That's some bullshit. And every time I turn around, they're doing some bullshit. And it's, well, and I can't even like put it together because I don't curse like that. But when people are doing that, it's like, and it's not just a black thing or white thing, because even when they do it, like, it's so many people that just seem just so polished, and then they go and they drop like the F-bombs and stuff like that. It's like, whoa, talk like that. And there are some times where I feel like it's needed. And I think sometimes people try to censor things too much. I like the fact that on Scale Her Summit yesterday, it's a lady, her name is Star. Her product is called Sweet Cookie. And she was talking about like marketing and branding and things of that nature. And so she was like, everybody ain't sure, like, oh my God, like, it's worth, because you can't, if you weren't there, you don't get to see, you have to pay $49 for like the replay. Everybody else, I ain't gonna lie, I'm not gonna say it was worth it, but like, to be able to listen to her little thing again, even for me to be like, if I paid for it, I could like take that and put it out there for the world to see, like from my community to see, or like if I was to pay for it to play that video, like in one of my like my Zoom sessions, because it's things that people need to hear. And she was like, stop complaining about your family not supporting you and this and the third, and they're not buying from you. She was like, I sell, again, disclaimer, if you got kids, cover their ears because I'm about to say it. She was like, I sell pussy soap. And she kept saying, and then I guess like maybe people was probably, so she was like, I sell poom poom wash. But I loved everything about like what she was saying. She kept it so real. And it's like there were times where dumb little vulgar words needed to be in there. Stuff like your ass stink. Your coochie is stink. You need to poop. So she was like, but she was describing like they can't do this or whatever. And it was hilarious. And I'm so happy they gave her the space to just like, it wasn't like this button up thing and like, oh my God, like people just clutch. Some people were clutching their pearls, but it was needed because what she was saying was so true. And I'm like, I'm hoping that there's people who don't miss the message just because she dropped some vulgar language, but she tried, but everything that she was saying was like spot on. It was absolutely amazing. And it was great that she was the person that ended it because outside of that, the rest of it was kind of like, I think it's just the B word for me. I can't. Well, see, I don't like out sometimes like, bleh. But I'm not gonna lie, like it's a word that I do use amongst like friends, and we're talking about certain things. Like to me, like when I'm trying to express something, like to me, it's kind of like the girl. I don't necessarily see it as someone saying something derogatory towards me when it's like somebody like I know I'm talking to like in love, like we're cool. But there's times where that the connotation of that is negative. But I'm not gonna lie, I use the B word. I really do. I hate cursing, but I won't follow them. I appreciate your professionalism. I mean, I try my best. Like in teaching, I don't feel like that's necessary. But if there was a conversation, I'm not going to say that curse words are not. I just found out that my 14-year-old, it broke my little heart. But I'm like, he is 14. Kids say it in school. And he's like, Mom, I don't say it like all the time. Because he was talking about one of his friends and he was like, I don't know what the F he's doing. I was like, wait, my child cursing. I was like, Mommy, that's AI. That's AI. It wasn't me. It was AI. I was like, wait, my child said a cuss word. I know that it's going to happen. He's in high school, like goes to a black high school. It's going to happen. But it was just weird hearing my 14-year-old say what the. So I'm like, why can't you be like your mom and say what the flip? What the fudge? I know it means the same thing. It's just the fact that you said the actual word. Like, he immediately caught himself, but yeah. Let's see. Yes, explaining this. Okay, I read that one. But yeah, anywho, I want to be able to talk to you guys. I know that there are a lot of people who have courses, they have so-called trainings and challenges, and they're teaching a lot of surface level things. I like to try and get to the root. I'll give people the space to explain things the way that it's processing through their heads that I can then end up helping you. Things like understanding printers, understanding just different methods of doing things. We talk about foam board. Maybe you couldn't get like when you're just starting out, maybe for yourself. I've used foam, like the Dollar Tree foam board, but then when you realize like certain things like it doesn't work, and then it's like, okay, there's levels to this. There's different qualities of foam board for different things, depending on like how long it needs to last and things of that nature. But these are questions that you have to be willing to inquire about. You have to have some curiosity. Where is the curiosity for you entrepreneurs? Or are you just waiting for someone to say, this is the next way to become a millionaire, to become successful, and you latch onto it? To me, in this climate, this society of entrepreneurs, and this generation, should I say, of entrepreneurs, y'all have no curiosity. You just want to go off of someone's so-called blueprint. But I do have one. Last night, I did have a migraine, so I wasn't able to do like how I really, really wanted to. So there's no recording because I had a migraine and it was just, but I took medicine, make sure I'm good for this evening. I am pushing it up a little bit because 9:30 was kind of late. So I'm gonna do 8:30. But if you have curiosity, if you're in the groups and certain questions aren't being answered, you're trying to figure out, like, I want to be able to help you, but I'm also like, I don't want to be able to help you for free. Like, some of y'all get this free information and y'all listen to these free, some people come on live because you want to build up. Like, there's a lot of people doing content because they want to get to a point where Meta pays them, TikTok pays them, YouTube pay them. So they might be on a lot to be able to get those watch hours in, get those followers up, get that engagement up so they can be monetized on these platforms. And it's a lot of information out there that's just random stuff. I want to be able to help you where you actually need help at, not the surface level. There's a lot of people showing the surface level. They're going and saying, like, we get so many of y'all get so excited because the new foam board box came out. It was, because it was Valentine's Day. Oh, somebody went and they made a foam board heart with the opening in the middle. It had a chain on it. What you going to put in there? What value is someone going to put on that? What are they going to do with this, like, afterwards? You want me to pay $25, $30 just for the box that I'm going to throw away? Like, it's certain things, like, they can be great if they were like mass produced or whatever, but people just latch on to that. I remember where people were latching on to the foam board cribs. That takes a lot of work for people who aren't going to value it. They can't put their actual kid in it, but you charging damn near the price of a real crib. And I might as well would have got me a real crib and put this stuff in it. You charging me for this box, and that's half the price if I go buy me a real crib for some foam. Nah, homie. So I want to be able to help you with those things that you're not finding in the groups, the not so surface level things. When y'all talk about pricing, now I can't give you everything in this, but it will be a starting point. Some of you guys might come in now if you pay for it to where you like, I'm not curious, I just want to be in the room, I want to hear what you're going to tell somebody else. Now, if that y'all do that and them folks don't ask more questions, you ain't getting a refund because you came in there knowing that you weren't going to add to the conversation and the information that is provided. Now, I have some things that I want to talk about because I've talked about it, so I was blue in the face. I really can't tell you which videos to go to. So this will be a way where I can kind of have that and maybe chop it up about printers and breaking that down, different, methods, talk about somewhat about pricing and like marketing. If you are someone that likes to make short form content, there is a way to promote your business and get eyes and get views on your business if you do short form content. I'm not a short form content girly. It's not to say that it doesn't work for people and I can't teach you and guide you. I'm just not a short form content kind of person. So you won't see it. So if you're waiting to see my success from my short form content, you're not going to see it because I don't put value on short form content. But if you're somebody and you feel like you need like your audience needs that short form content and that's what your audience is going to consume, then you do that. And I can help guide you and give you some tips and things. It's not free. My time, I used to. I know some of you guys are just being introduced to me. You've gotten burned a bunch of times. I've been at this for 10 years. I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. I have real game. I have ideas. I was just on Social Proof and I was like, not Social Proof. I was on the morning meetup. We have Q&A day. And I asked a question of the host there and like some of the things that they're doing. I provided ideas. And when I see like the things that I provide, like these bigger people, and they actually, implement it, even if I don't get credit for it, it's okay. It does. Well, I smiled when I saw finally did another commercial for the morning meetup inside of his like podcast. But that's just me. Like, I'm an ideas person. I was telling him that on the call. And then when I send the voice note, the ideas that I'm going to come up with, it's going to be something that you probably didn't think of. And for him, it was like, okay, well, you can have the idea, but I also need someone to execute. Well, are you paying? Those are two different jobs. because sometimes people need that idea to help you think outside the box. Now, I may not be the person to execute it. If you do want me to execute it, are you going to pay me for my execution? Like for me being able to actually do the thing, because ideas are one thing, doing it is another, or you need to be able to pay someone else. I can help you get there, help you open up your mind to some things, but you're gonna have to put in some work. Whether you are going to DIM that work and that process and you're going to do it yourself, or you're going to now seek out someone that can do certain things for you. I'll close on this. And when I say that, like stuff like your website, it's so many people that's trying to build out their own website. It's so many of y'all that feel like because you can design a shirt, you should be able to design a logo. Designing a logo and putting a design together for a memorial, for a birthday, they're not the same. They are not the same to convey this message. And some things you need to leave to those that is their specialty. You're trying to make that your specialty. You don't design logos. You don't design websites. You don't design funnels. Figure out a way to pay that person, even if you got to figure out how to save up, get you a little fund. Y'all, I see people on TikTok and they got the little savings box where they talk about like your little stuff to save. You know what I don't see on there? I see people saving for stuff like vacations and this, that, and the third. Where y'all savings account at for y'all business? Where y'all taking y'all a little bit of money, investing? Y'all like to use that little thing about investing in your business, but are you really? Where's your little envelope thingy, whatever? And watch somebody gonna go and take that idea. They're gonna start making the little stickers that talk about business stuff. Just know that they probably saw this or somebody told them to it and they took it from me because they weren't thinking about it before. And I don't care to do it because that's not the business that I'm in. I'm not the jump on every single idea because I don't have the capacity to do it. I don't care if you do it, just damn, give a girl a credit, give her some credit. But where is the business folder for that? Where is the person saying, get this box because you know that you need somebody to design your website? That person said, for me to come in and design your website, it's $500. All right, I'm a bootstrapper. I'm going to do what I've been doing, but I know that I need a website. So I'm going to save a little bit from here, a little bit from there. I'm going to pay this person who is a professional. I've seen their work. They didn't get mad when I questioned them about certain things. I'm going to get them this $500. I'm going to give them this $1,000 for them to build out this website and maybe show me a little something so I can work this website myself. I'm going to go and I'm going to have my little folder. This is, I'm going to put a little bit in here. This is going to be for me to have a website. This is going to be right here for me to get a professional logo. Right now, I just went on Canva. I got some text. It just says, my name, but I know I want a professional logo. The professional logo folk who have a full business suite, they say it's going to be $1,500. Let me go ahead and put some money in there. Y'all go and y'all save for all this to go on vacations. You can probably have your job and you're going to get to that vacation fund sooner and quicker if you set your business up correctly, but your priorities are messed up. You're not thinking about the business when it comes to all these little viral things. If you are going to sell a digital product, let that digital product be the thing to fund something else. Okay, I'm going to put this out and all the money from this, I'm not going to use it for no bundles. I'm not going to use this for no crafty crab. I'm not going to use this for like a seafood boil. I'm not going to use this to go and do some foolishness. I'm going to sell this digital product and I want to be able to sell it so that I can get this. I don't understand why y'all don't think that way. And I'm grateful that I grew up in the time that I did when it came to entrepreneurship, to where I understand how to do something to save it. I started entrepreneurship for me. I didn't have to worry about it for bills. That's what my man was for. That's what my husband was for. It was for all of the extras. I saved for the extras. I worked to save for my kids after college. I saved for, we're going on vacation. We don't have to worry about if we got to pay this bill or not to be able to take them on. That is what I worked for. But you can do that in your business as well. Save for the things that you want in your business and not treat it as just because you can't get it today, it's not attainable or you're just going to forget about it. But it's 30-65. I'm all about branding. So it's 30-65. You can, if you went and you gave Epson any amount of money for that printer and it was more than 30-65, you purchased paper, you're purchasing prints, you're purchasing whoever, whatever. If you want to be able to, you can, I think that 30-65, you can use the buy now, pay later to break down to a couple dollars or whatever, or go ask someone, go right now and try and sell somebody a shirt. Make that the price. Hey, the price for this shirt today is 30-65. get the money for you to be in the room to be able to get information that you can use to help you quadruple that, 10 times that, like 10x that. But the link is in the description. It's 3065. It's a live Zoom. I'm answering whatever questions. I know the things, some of the things that, because I see that I know that y'all, the majority of people in the room will need. It won't apply to everybody, but it will apply to some. And also for those, like, come if you really want somebody that's gonna break it down for, like, some of you guys need to hear, like, you're doing team too much. You need to let that go. I understand you paid your money for it, but it ain't making you money now. So it's okay to kind of like put this off to the side for a minute. Let's figure out this thing, because you are just starting out. You're not in a position where you can do all these things. You don't have any help, no support. You don't even have the basic knowledge of a lot of for it to become the main thing. But it's 3065 tonight, 8:30 p.m. Yeah, and join me on Zoom to be able to help you unlock the layers of entrepreneurship. Someone to talk to you about, the beginning, like that you can go do more research on your tax stuff for your business, your marketing, the printers, whatever the things that you are curious about in your business, the things that keep you up at night. Why not talk to somebody who's willing to listen to help you figure it out? All right. I don't have You Matter and all. And that's the thing. I'm glad that you are willing to listen to this information even though you don't have a business yet. Like, obviously it's something that you might be something that you're thinking about, or you never know when you might need this information, because working on anybody's job is not guaranteed. Some people are forced into entrepreneurship because they can't go work for anybody else, or something happens and they lose this job and they got to figure out something because it's harder to get interviews and like get hired. So you have to figure out something. If you are forced into entrepreneurship, this information might come back and be very, very valuable to you. I've learned a lot from you, from safe zones on designs to color charts, printing, samples. I go back to my classes if I have a question. You have been awesome in this space. Oh, thank you. Let's see. I saw in a group asking, the asking price is $39 per month, and this woman is not deep. I thought it was outrageous. Now I've taken enough of your courses and they're definitely worth it. Wait, I saw in a group them asking, the asking price is $39. Wait, I'm not sure. I don't understand, Mandy. Your Saleholics Anonymous classes had so much free information. That's why I started paying for your classes. Your free information was more valuable than others' paid information. I love that you're always transparent and give great advice. Oh, thank you, Lisa. I've never seen your name before. So to know that, for you to say you love that I'm always transparent, that means that you've watched my content. I don't think I've ever seen your name before. So welcome, welcome, welcome. The Zoom link is, I have a whole academy, okay? Like, I have a website for that. Like, that's the automation part of it. Now, I am going to go in today and make like a thumbnail, but the link, I'll put it in the description again right now. But it's in my academy. So you have to go on there. When you go to it and you sign up for it, when you pay for it, whether you pay for it straight out. I didn't even do a buy now, pay later option, because normally I do, because I'm not going to flip the bill. So if you have to do buy now, pay later, it's cool. Like for something like this, I'm not even going to trip about it, because normally I charge an extra $10 if you're going to use buy now, pay later, because they charge me. They don't charge y'all. And the fact that y'all need to break the payment up because you don't have the full amount, they charge me. They charge the person that's putting it, like that's selling it, which is so weird to me. So normally I have a separate price for anything that you're going to buy now, pay later on. Because why should I eat that cost when you don't want to pay for it outright? But you can still use the buy now, pay later for it. Once you do that, you're going to see it. When you go to your dashboard, it's going to show you basically any courses that you have purchased, or like they call it courses or whatever that you have purchased from us. They're going to be on your dashboard. You click on that. There is a chapter, I guess you would say, like a lesson in there that says Zoom access, whatever. You click on that, you register, and you'll be in on the Zoom. I used to watch you all the time, but I'm trying to get back on track. Back on track for what? What is it that you do? I might as well stay. Like I got a little bit of time before I gotta go pick up Zion Imani because it's Wednesday. So now I have 2 children to go pick up. But like on Wednesday, him and my cousin get out at the same time. So I have to get one out of school early. And with the schools, you have to get them within 30 minutes. Like they don't release them within the last 30 minutes of school. So I have to be to his school. I'm going to try and be there at like 1:10ish. And it's right up the street. So I got like 10 minutes. So I might as well just go and like just kind of answer some of your questions. I just talk to y'all, chit chat with y'all for the next 10 minutes. I think I signed up a long time ago when I was okay. No, so this is something totally different. It's not a part of any type of, this is something that's new. I just did this one. It was, we did it yesterday and today. So it's something that's new. This is not a part of any program. Yes, I have Creative Lounge. I have these. You can have an account on our 365 Creative Academy website, but it doesn't mean that you automatically have access to this. This is something that's totally different. So it's 365 to be able to come on, be able to get help, assistance, bring your notepad, bring your questions, bring your inquiries, like bring your curiosity to the session. If it turns out to be where one person comes in and they are actually taking advantage and they are monopolizing time and they got all the questions because the rest of y'all don't want to raise your hand, that is on you. You are paying to not get help. I don't understand why people do that. You pay for a class, you come in or a session, a learning session, information session, and someone is saying, hey, what questions do you have? Scale Her Summit was free. You pay $49 for the playbacks just to be able to watch this information. But did you have, like, some of the presenters tried to like answer questions, but it was going like so crazy and so fast. The last person, they were kind of like answer some questions, but people were weird with the stuff they were asking or whatever. But it's very rare. People have webinars all the time. And it's just them throwing out a bunch of information that they think that you need to know, instead of giving you an opportunity to talk about, hey, this is what I'm struggling in. This is what I don't understand. Do you have an answer for me? I set these up to give you the answers to what you actually need, not what I think that you need. Now, there are some things that is universal and you need to know these things, but I have dedicated sessions for that. So this is totally, totally different. This is, you come in, we're talking clarity. We're breaking down the layers of this creative business thing. And being real about what it's going to take to be successful, in it. So. Any question, like if you can't come on, do you have a question for me right now? I now have 7 minutes before I have to be out the door. I just have to have him signed out because I'm going to tell them, no, leave him in class. I'm going to sign him out, but he can stay a little bit longer so he can get what he needs to get. It's just that I have to be, like last week, I tried to go get him and I was like at the school early. Most times they're outside before school is actually over with. But on Wednesdays, I think his teacher always forgets about it being Wednesday. They get out at 1:50 and he didn't come out until almost 2:00. And that means I end up being late to pick her up. It was like, oh, we were just about to go in the office and call mom. And I'm like, oh, crap. So I'm like, I'm not even taking a chance this time. I'm just going to go sign him out early so that his teacher knows, like, it's 1:50. This kid's got to leave early today. I have a tax question. How do you track all of your expenses? Okay, I need you to be very, 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 very honest with me and yourself. Okay. When you say track, when you wanting to know track all your expenses, are you looking for something to automatically do it, or are you willing to put in the work? Because those automated type things, like where someone's doing it for you, it costs. So, with you wanting to track your expenses, what are you? Let me see. I have a million receipts, but they fade so quick. So, you have a phone, correct? You have a phone, a smartphone, a phone that was produced in the 20th century. Well, actually, 21st century. I'm guessing that's a yes. Take a picture and then transfer it. So take a picture. If you don't want it to like live on your phone, you have a process where you're taking these pictures and then you put them into a shared drive. But you only need the receipt for audit purposes. Or unless you're paying it in cash. But even if you're paying for it in cash, then you need to then have some type of log. If you want to pay for something that's going to be like more automation and it can connect to your bank account. Now, even with using something like QuickBooks, it requires some setup to it because you have to set what the categories are. I'm not sure if it's called categories, but like what the rule is and things of that nature. Like if this is going to be like when you're doing your tax, like if it's it for advertisement, is it supplies, is it this, is it you have to go in and put those labels on it, and based off of your what you're buying, like you need to create that list. Same way I say with websites, it needs to be built before you build. Like your website should be created before it is built. It's gonna be the same thing. Like we started off with Excel spreadsheets. Like now people want to go into some type of automation. I'm so grateful that I had to do these things the manual way because it does make these other things a lot easier because I already had these categories and things like that set up when I was either writing them down or using Excel spreadsheet. So my recommendation is to still have an Excel spreadsheet, even though it produces reports that will be in Excel spreadsheets. When you go and you have that, and it's just that you can kind of organize things. So you can do an Excel spreadsheet, you can do a Google sheet, or you can do a Canva sheet. Now, if you do Canva will make it a little bit easier where when you take that picture of that receipt and you're putting that line item on it, you can immediately like upload that to Canva, go ahead and attach that, and you can delete it from your phone if you want, or you can put it inside of a cloud storage, or if you want to have a jump drive or you want to have an external hard drive, but it needs to be stored somewhere. There's going to be steps to it. It's not a whole lot of automation you don't have a Rosie. Like you're not the Jetsons. You don't have a Rose that you can hand this to and they're just going to go and process it. Or unless you have an assistant where they're going to do kind of that, okay, hey, I want to purchase this. I'm going to hand this off to you. Here is the SOP. Here's the standard operating procedure of what you're supposed to do. When I go and I purchase something, we have a receipt. It needs to be logged here, 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 and here. AI ain't going to always do that for you. Or even if it does, you still have to upload it. You have to feed it. You have to connect it to different things. Whatever. Like that's a whole lot of. If your life ain't that complicated to where you are moving every 2 seconds, like schedule time where, okay, I'm going to have all these receipts. They're not going to fade within 24 hours. So if you're going to do it to where, okay, hey, Thursday at 6 p.m. is the day that I sit down and I'm going to do everything for this week or everything for these past 2 weeks. I'm going to schedule out that way. You have to put that on the schedule, and you're going to go in, you're going to take your phone, you're going to go ahead and you're going to scan it. Or if you got a computer, well, technically, all y'all have a way to scan this stuff because y'all got a summation printer. Even the Epson 2800, like all of the ones that like summation, they have a scanner on it that you don't need for summation, but you can definitely use that scanner to scan all of your receipts in. Scan them. I recommend scanning them one by one. That way you can attach that to a specific, like name that one. when people go and put a bunch of stuff on there, like that doesn't quite help you for like individual line items. It will help you for audit purposes if you were ever audited. But if you're doing it through a credit card, you have exactly what that is. You may not, you don't have to necessarily, like, if everything is like all for the same thing, there's that line item. You're just going to categorize it and you're going to put that on there as far as like taxes, and it's just an expense. But you have to be willing to do the work. Even with QuickBooks or anything like that, you're still going to have to go in and schedule time to do the work. So we have Excel spreadsheets. Now I will say, like, if I don't want to, if I kind of miss out on some things with AI, I am able to take the PDF version that comes from the bank. When you have your statement, it's a PDF, or I can take a picture. With AI, you can go in there and you can instruct it to take this, turn this into an Excel spreadsheet, and I already have certain rules to where it will become this expense. But that's because I did the prep work for this years ago, and I know how to categorize everything. So when you're setting it up, when you're first setting it up, it's going to seem like it's going to take a really long time, especially with you're doing it yourself. You have other things going on, but you have to know how everything is going to be categorized, and you're going to have to try out different ways to figure out what's going to be best for you. What's best for me may not work for you, but you can start with, when you go and they're doing it, take 2 seconds, take a picture of it. It's now in your phone. Take a picture of it. Then from a picture, it is so easy to go hit the share button, share that to a drive. Now it's living. Now you have the physical copy, you have the one that's on your phone until you delete it, and now you have it in a cloud storage. And then what you do with that after that is up to you. Okay. I was doing some, great question. I was doing some of the basic craft stuff, t-shirt, tumblers, etc. But I got laid off. They just seemed like multiple family members got sick and some passed away, and I'm getting my life back in order. Take your time, ease into it. Don't rush into it. Maybe pick 1 or 2 things, because it'll be very overwhelming if you're still dealing with, if any of those sicknesses ended up in death, if you're still mourning, things like that. It can be great to get your attention off of it, but if you now add the pressure of trying to make it into a business, and when things don't sell, things aren't moving, now you're adding extra stress to yourself. You don't want to do that. You want to protect your health and not have things that's going to cause your blood pressure to go up. So if it's not something that is of dire need, to where if you don't do this entrepreneurship thing and you don't figure out how to sell these t-shirts, you're going to be out on the street. If that is not your situation, it is okay to ease into it to set yourself up for success. All right. It's 1:02. I got to go. Until next time, have a great one. Continue to unlock your creativity. Be incredible. I forgot to drop it over here for y'all. So I'm going to drop that, even though it's in the description. I look forward to seeing you guys tonight at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I want to help you get some clarity on your business, your craft business, your creative business, your custom business, your print shop business, whatever it is, whatever you call it. I have 26 years of game. The good, the bad, the ugly. I'm not one-sided. I've tried out so many different things that have worked for me, doesn't work for me. It might work for you. I can listen to what your situation is and be able to give you some direction. It is a $30 investment, $30.65. And I promise you, if you're coming in with some type of expectation, and it's like, I need to be able to figure this out, and I'm able to give you some guidance, and you actually take action on it, that $30 is going to be a drop in the bucket. Okay. All right, y'all. Peace.